Next, tragedy strikes, accidents happen. Be there when the calls come in. It's back-to-back episodes of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
Today on Rescue 911, a horrifying ordeal.
Somebody's trying to break into my house.
Children left unattended.
I thought I lost my kid.
Terrorized by burglars.
Apparently he's gotten into the house.
Be there for the dramatic chase. Plus,
We begin on the morning of November 1st, 1990, in Madera, California. On that day, when 11-year-old Katrina Rollis woke up with a sore throat, her parents arranged for her to stay home from school. By 9 a.m., Irma Salas and her husband had already left for work. Katrina was looking after her 10-month-old baby sister until their grandmother could pick them up. Katrina immediately called her mother at work.
Hello, Mom?
Yeah?
There's somebody at our door and they're knocking and they won't stop.
You don't know who it is? I told Trina, if you don't know who it is, don't answer the door.
All right.
She went and got the baby, and they both went under the bed, and that's when she called me again.
We're in the garage.
I thought I lost my kids. I thought I wasn't gonna see them again. I just wanted to come home and be there first, but she wanted someone here fast, and that's what she thought of, 911.
At 9:45 a.m., a call came in to dispatcher Heidi Foley.
This is Katrina Rollis. Somebody's trying to break into my house.
What's your address?
434 Street.
Are they at the front or the back?
They're in the garage trying to open the doorknob.
They're in the garage. Okay, stay on the line with me.
The
okay?
thought of this being a child, what's going to happen, it's nerve-wracking, but on the other hand, you know you're not going to be able to help that child or that person unless you can remain calm and get the people there that need to respond to assist her.
47, Madera 2.
47.
Need you to respond to a 459 in progress. Okay, and how old are you?
I'm 11.
11 years old.
I'm sick and I'm taking care of my sister.
Okay, so you're 11, and how old's your sister?
She's 10 months. He's still trying to open the door.
Okay, they're on their way. I just want you to stay on the line with me, okay?
I could hear over the phone the door rattling, and apparently they were trying to break the doorknob.
Madera police officer Brian Chapasoni was doing paperwork at the jail when he was notified of the incident.
Madera 64, I'm en route. Where am I going?
Being I had the two small children of my own, of course you're scared of what you're going to find when you get there. And the fact that dispatcher Foley was on the telephone with her, that was the only lifeline we had with that child at that time. That's the only way we knew that child was okay.
He's banging on the door.
Okay, hold on.
Please
Hold on.
hurry.
They're on their way, honey. They're on their way. Okay, calm down, because I'm going to help. I know you're scared.
He broke it open. Oh, he broke it open.
Okay, they're on their way, honey.
Are they here?
They'll be there in just a minute.
We still have the little one on landline, Madera.
Affirmative. Apparently he's gotten into the house. She's in one of the bedrooms. I'm trying to get further.
Boosted up 64.
Sorry.
Okay, you got your little sister there with you?
Yes.
Once the suspects were in the house, then the urgency became intense.
What room are you in?
Were they actually just burglarizing the house, or were they after these kids?
He opened the door. What room are you in, honey? Are you in a bedroom, honey? Katrina?
When we continue,
it took me about 2 minutes to arrive at the scene. I was going upon the assumption that they were most likely armed.
Next on Discovery Health Channel. 911. It's the call that saves lives. True stories that one day could help you in an emergency. Rescue 911. Coming up next, only on Discovery Health Channel.
After weight loss of 170 pounds, I was ashamed of what I was left with. It takes courage to subject yourself to massive incisions and hundreds of stitches.
Real stories, real transformation.
You know that there's a risk, but you really focus on the rewards.
These are the stories only Discovery Health Channel can tell. Plastic surgery, before and after. Tomorrow night at 9, only on Discovery Health Channel.
the first officer to get to the house was Robert Salas.
It probably took me about 2 minutes to arrive at the scene. I was going upon the assumption that they were most likely armed.
The room's clear.
Somebody came in.
Okay, it's probably a policeman, okay? So you just hold on.
I'm scared.
I know, honey.
Clear. Clear.
Bedroom's clear. Bedroom's clear.
Girls are in here.
The policeman's in your room?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to hang up with you then, okay?
Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
At the point that we'd gotten Katrina and her little sister out of the house, I'm satisfied. If we never catch these other guys, I don't really care. Of course, I do want to catch them, but you got to understand is I'm satisfied with the two girls being okay.
Once they determined the house was clear, Officer Salas continued the search outside.
Near a fence line, I observed some firearms. At that point, I determined that the suspects may have fled westbound through the canal.
What were they wearing, you know?
When a neighbor was questioned, he said he had seen 3 youths running from the scene and gave a description of what they were wearing.
Wearing brown clothing and hats. Just ran through the canal. Running westbound.
Police Chief Gordon Skeels, who knew the area well, headed for a place where he thought the suspects might emerge from the canal.
They took off running up over the bank, and I lost sight of them just for a second or two while I backed my car out and turned it around, but I knew where they went.
Running towards the Clinton right now.
Officer Fabian Benavente then spotted the suspects and tried to keep them in sight.
I was driving parallel with them as they were running and jumping over fences and dispatching the traffic to the other officers.
So right in the middle of the block, running towards Washington.
We felt that these subjects were armed. There was approximately 40 rounds of .357 Magnum ammunition and 38 ammunition found. So everybody in the search had that on their mind.
I can see, I can see Clinton. I can see down to Lily as well.
Various ones of us just took up posts around the area trying to establish a perimeter, and Sergeant Jeffries was in charge of the general operation.
As other officers arrived, we began to fill in the gaps that we had.
Just about every law enforcement agency in the county was represented because they had heard the radio calls and they came in to assist.
I got a visual officer. He's around the corner over here on Washington. Did one cross us over here? Negative. He peeked around the corner, saw me, and took off back.
He's still inside the perimeter. There's so many curious citizens running around here, it's hard to tell who's who.
About 40 minutes into the search, two of the suspects slipped through the perimeter and eluded the officers.
Hold it, place officer. Going east from Malone.
We're not interested in meting out justice to them. It's not our job. And if we can take them without them being hurt or us being hurt or a witness being hurt or a victim being hurt, then we're all ahead of the game.
Hold your position.
City units, I have one suspect in the backyard at 3 Magnolia. He's under a table.
A citizen yelled at me and said that a young man with a baseball cap had just run into the backyard.
Sheriff's Deputy Patrick Majeski was approaching from the other side of the yard.
I knew I was close. I knew he was in there somewhere.
Freeze, Sheriff's Department. Put your hands on your head. Crawl on out. Lay down on your stomach. Leave your hands on your head.
45 minutes after the search began, the first suspect was taken into custody. The search for the other two suspects continued. Shortly after Officer Chapasoni joined in, he spotted something.
I had what I thought to be the second suspect due to his clothing and his demeanor.
21 from 64. He's running. We got him. He's going this way. I got him.
Go down to your knees. Go down. Go down. Go down. He basically threw his hands up and said, I had enough.
Madera 6-4, code 4, second one in custody, Madera.
I was quite pleased of what we accomplished that day.
Though the third suspect got away, he turned himself in 8 days later. All three youths subsequently pleaded guilty and were sentenced to 60 days in juvenile hall, community service, and restitution. Martin Rollis was thankful that his daughter Katrina knew what to do in an emergency.
Whatever they took, that was fine as long as my kids were all right. And it was just a thing of what could have happened to her. And I just felt good just to see him alive.
Can I eat now? Katrina wanted to meet the dispatcher. I had a day off the next day, so we went over there. And she said that I had a bright little girl. And I told her, I sure do.
Katrina did very well in responding to the questions I needed answered, so that she was instrumental, actually, in helping us apprehend the people that we did.
Congratulations.
The Madera Police Department gave Katrina an award in recognition of her heroic actions.
By apprehending these three individuals, it showed us that they had been the ones that had done numerous burglaries throughout the city and the county area. And as a consequence, it probably saved a lot of other people being victimized by the same group.
I'm not scared anymore because it's all over with, and I don't think it'll happen again. But if it does, I know how to use the 911 system.
Next, step inside the command center where the calls for help are answered and meet the real-life heroes who save lives. Stay tuned for another episode of Rescue 911. Next on Discovery Health Channel. Real life, medicine, miracles.
Mr. Shapiro, step out of the car, please.